Good afternoon. Happy Monday. It is Monday. It is Martin Luther King Day. It is a holiday for some and not for others. So whether you're joining me from work on your lunch break or whether you're like me and you're at home enjoying this day off, welcome to From Depression to Destiny. This is From Depression to Destiny. Okay, y'all bear with me. I don't know why I'm nervous, because I do not like doing these lives. Folks get on live and make this look easy. I am by far a professional when it comes to these lives. So y'all pray my strength in the Lord. I'm just trying to be obedient to what God has called me to do in this season. So again, welcome to From Depression to Destiny. Okay? From Depression to Destiny. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please, if you're joining me, go ahead and drop me a comment. Let me know that you're here. Welcome to Monday, January the 15th. I promised to God that I would do live once a month, because that's all I can handle, y'all. Once a month from now until the end of the year, to continue to share my story, inspire others, bring awareness to depression, talk about my healing journey. I am an overcomer of depression. I thank God for that. And I just want to share my experience, share the word of God, and hopefully I will encourage someone to continue to press on, even in the midst of depression, okay? So, what is all of this? To those of you who are here, new to the group, welcome. I know I have, 42, 43-ish members. Some of you I know personally, and some of you I don't know at all. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining this space. And I pray that the testimonies, the songs, the poems, the scriptures, and everything that I share in this space is helping you from day to day as you journey through this life and do what you need to do in your own life to ultimately get to that place of healing and overcoming in the area of depression. So again, this group only focuses on depression. All right. I have some other groups that I run, but for this group, for the sake of this space, it is From Depression to Destiny. So again, welcome everyone. I see Jessica, I see Minister Stacy. Thank you guys for coming on today. Happy Monday, happy Martin Luther King Day. And I pray that your day is filled with joy, because that's our topic, y'all. So I put in the chat or in the group, how does depression and joy work together? Y'all, I got my notes. I promise y'all, I had to have some notes, because I can't be freestyling like I be saying people get on here freestyle. That ain't my ministry, all right? So, if you don't know, I wrote this book, Depression Before T, Journey A to Z. And that is what the essence of this group is about. When God allowed me to release this book concerning depression, it had been, some of you may have heard me share in other spaces on other platforms, that my depression journey was very, very long. I say knowingly that it lasted 10 plus years. It could have been longer, but I always say knowingly, because in the state of depression, we don't always know what's happening. You can be subconsciously thinking you know what's going on around you, and then you may not be knowing what's going on around you. So when God asked me to write this book and release this book, it was His way of showing me that I was healed, and that I was healed enough to share the story. And so I'm just going to be very short and brief. I'm not going to stay on here long. It is snowing, y'all. It is finally snowing in Washington, D.C., and I am excited. So I'm going to get on here and I'm going to get off, because I'm about to go play in the snow, y'all. So, depression has many forms and appears differently in individuals. Therefore, identifying and understanding depression in your life is essential and requires a faithful and dedicated support system. Your support can come from pastors, doctors, mentors, families, friends, and therapists. So I'm going to read that one more time. That is taken directly from my book. Depression has many forms and appears differently in individuals. Therefore, identifying and understanding depression in your life is essential and it requires a faithful and dedicated support system. Your support can come from pastors, doctors, mentors, family, friends, and or therapists. Okay, that is my definition. That is what God gave me. That is how I defined the term depression. You can look it up, Google the dictionary. They have all sorts of types of depression definitions, but what God showed me was how he wanted me to talk about depression and how it looked in my life. So in my life, I did have my pastor right beside me through the whole thing. I also had my family. I don't necessarily say that my family was like totally supportive because they didn't really understand it. And that may be you. You may be in a family or around people that don't necessarily understand what you're going through. Depression is simply an emotion. So let's start there. It's an emotion. Put it in the chat, y'all. It's an emotion. So once we learn to stop allowing our emotions to control us, then we no longer have to stay under this umbrella of depression because it is an emotion. All right. So the question that I asked was, how does depression and joy work together? So my topic for this live is joy. Joy in depression. Is that really a thing? Absolutely. It is a real thing. And it took me a long time to understand what joy was. And I had to search my heart and just really stay in God's face about what was the difference in happiness and joy, because there is a difference. And some of us are walking around like, oh, we're happy, we're happy, we're happy. And yeah, you probably are. We have moments, right? So again, we're going to get into moments. March is going to be moments. So if stay in the group, watch what I post, you'll see the updates and the things that I'm going to bring this year through this group. So for January, what God told me to do is use my book and the Word of God, put them together and go through one live every month for the year. And the topic is based on the month. So the beginning letter of the month, because in the book I use the alphabet. That is what God allowed me to do and show me what to do. He said use the alphabet to explore the emotions and the things that you felt when you were going through your depression. So I use the alphabet A to Z, and every letter is an emotion that I felt in that process. And so for January, we're going to look at joy. All right, I'm going to start with the actual poem from the book, and then we're going to get into some scriptures, and then I'm going to get off of here because this is making me really nervous, really nervous. Thank you guys for being here. I see Danae. Hi, Danae from Flint, Michigan. That's my little girl that I met at the conference that we did in October. I love you. Thank you for joining. I see LaQuinta. Hey, girl, that's my other grief book sister. And Stephanie Reed, that is my teacher from high school. And I see my sister. Thank you, guys. This space would not be a space without your love and support. So thank you guys for taking time out to come here and watch me do what it is that God has called me to do. I made a joke with Minister Stacy. She was like, so you gonna be obedient or you gonna be disobedient? And child, y'all don't know, I want to be disobedient, honey, because this right here is working my nerves. Y'all don't even understand the level of pressure it is to do a live. I thought this was easy, y'all. This ain't easy. All right, so y'all pray for your girl. Pray my strength in the Lord indeed. Okay, so again, if you don't have a copy of the book, go ahead. It's available on Amazon. It's available nationwide where books are sold. This book had the honor of being international. So this book is available. All right, it's at Barnes and Noble and a whole bunch of all these other bookstores. Okay, so you could just put my name and it's gonna pop up. All right, my publisher does a phenomenal job keeping me at the top of the Google search. All right, shout out to Christian Living Books. Yes. So joy, again, January joy. That's what I'm bringing y'all today. I hope that I'm bringing y'all joy just because y'all on here. I hope I bring y'all some joy on the day. All right, J is for joy. Rapture from my fears and ecstasy of bliss as I resist. Delight in the truth. Troubles of my youth no longer misused. Cheer with glee because I'm free. Find contentment in my decision. Great elation. Confidence appears. Knowing happiness from joy. Burden lifted. Living life clear. All right, y'all. So January, joy. I pray that y'all have joy this month of January. Oh, y'all. So I wrote this poem August the 15th, 2019. It was exactly, maybe a few months after I walked out of the doctor's office. So real story. That is why, if you remember from earlier, go back and catch the replay. I talked about the types of people that you need in your life for you to overcome. And yes, some of those people are doctors and therapists. And I am not against therapy. I'm not against medication. I'm not against doctors. I'm not against any of it because it all was part of my process. But I got to this place where I was like, okay, all of these pills, you know, they just not working. And I tried so many different medications. I had multiple therapists that I was seeing at the time. And it just felt like what you call it? Like going in circles. Like I just felt like I was just going in circles. And I'm going from doctor to doctor, from pill to pill, and just in a circle. Like they say, it's a cycle. That's what I was in. And I couldn't shake any of it. I was just like, okay, something is just not right. And I pay respect. I give much respect to the doctors and the therapists that was in my life through my process because it taught me a lot. But the biggest lesson in all of that is that it taught me to put all, and we're going to get to the all. It taught me to put all of my trust in God. And while I was seeking help from the professionals, the ultimate professional is God. And God was reminding me, like, yeah, you seeking out all of these people, you seeking out all of this stuff, but when have you seeked me? When have you asked me? And it wasn't until I decided at my very last appointment, and my pastor was with me at that appointment. She went to several appointments because I just couldn't handle it. Like I was just like, I need somebody else with wisdom, and I need somebody else that knows me and that can, you know, that I trust, that I can have speak on my behalf in those moments where I feel like I can't say a word. And most of the time when I sat in those sessions, I literally just cried my eyes out and I could not say anything. Okay. All right. Sorry. Can y'all hear me? Because my aunt just called and that just threw off the live. Let me know in the chat. Can y'all still hear me? So after so many years of just struggling and battling with depression and going back and forth to these appointments, I stood in a parking lot with my pastor and I told her, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing this. I was just like, you know what? I'm just not coming back. I'm good. I'm not coming back. And she was like, no, boo, you're not good. But if you decide that's what you want to do, then, you know, that's just what you're going to do. And the thing that resonated with me as I stood in that parking lot and I made the decision to not come back to any of those sessions, I knew what I was walking away from. But I also knew what I needed to do in order to get what I was seeking. And I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. And I was just like, okay, it's me and God. And when I came to that realization that it was me and God, and that nobody else mattered. It didn't matter what my family thought. It didn't matter what my pastor thought. It didn't matter what nobody. It didn't matter. It was like, okay, thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for y'all prayers. But I'm at this point where I have to do this with God. And the only way for me to get the level of healing, get to this point of overcoming these emotions, because that's what it is, y'all. It's an emotion. To get past crying, get past sobbing, get past passing out, falling out. When I tell y'all, listen, my sister is on here. Sister, I know you working, but can you drop in the chat? You have seen this from me. Y'all, when I tell you my emotions used to run haywire to the point that I would be at the hospital. Come on. Anybody has ever had to go to the emergency room for depression? Yo, it's a real thing. And if you do not get control of your emotions, it will take you out, literally. And I was functioning. Like, that was the thing that was weird, because some people say I've heard people say, like, in their depression that they can't function. Like, I'm just going to stay in my house, and I'm going to stay in my room, and I ain't coming out, and I'm not eating, and, I ain't taking no shower. And it's real. Some folks function like that. But no, y'all, I was functioning. I went to work every day. I put on a smile every day. And when that clock hit for me to clock out and roll out, I went right back into my misery. And that was my day every day, y'all. Can y'all imagine that for years? I'm talking years of my life. That was my cycle. I went to work. I went home. Work, home. When I'm around people, I know how to put on. When I'm around people, I know how to smile. I know how to be happy. I know how to bring joy. And when I'm not with people, I fall apart. And I was just like, yo, what is this? Like, what in the world? And it wasn't because my life was so bad and my life was so hectic. Like, my life has always been great. I have said this on other platforms. Y'all, my life has always been great. I have never gone without anything. So it's like, why in the world am I being controlled by my mental state that's telling me that everybody is against me, that everything is falling apart, that nothing is working out? And it's like, girl, do you look around? What is the problem? I know. It's not a belief, y'all. When you get past belief and knowing, you will get somewhere in life. I don't believe God. My bishop said this a long time ago. And when I got that thing, I was like, yes, indeed. I don't have to believe God. Why? Because I know. When I know that it's God, I don't have to keep believing. We keep believing in things. We want to believe that it's going to happen. Believe that God going to do this. Believe. No, you don't believe it. Get past belief and know. I know without a doubt that who I am today is because of God and because of the calling that he put on my life years ago. Years that I've been running from, for years that I've been walking in disobedience, for years. But I know. So when I tapped into what I know, which is God, which is the power of God, which is the power of the Holy Ghost, what is his word that he put in the Bible. I'm telling y'all learn something. Y'all learn something if you open up the Bible. I'm just saying, it's 66 books in there for a reason. They'll bless you. When I got past all of that was going on in my mind, that was trying to tell me opposite, because that's what it's doing. It's trying to tell you opposite of what you know. So if you stand on what you know, then you have joy. And that's the word, y'all. Joy, unspeakable joy. When I tell you just, I'm going to tell you just, like, within the last, I'm going to be, like, let me say, 3 years. I'm going to just give it 3 years. It probably even been 2. When I say just, I want y'all to look up that word. I just learned joy. I'm 38, y'all. Y'all do the math. J-U-S-T. I just learned joy. In the last 3 years, give or take, 2 years, 3 years. All right, let's be nice. Let's say 3. When I dropped this book, I hadn't overcome everything, but I stand on God's word. And I've been saying this for the last, let's say the last year. They were healed as they went. So when I wrote the book, I believe God. And I know, again, I knew that if I was obedient and if I wrote this book, that God was going to do what he said he was going to do. He said, you overcame depression. Now it's the time for you to release your story. Now it's the time for you to talk about it. Now you're in a place that you can understand it better, and now you can talk about it. Because how can I bring somebody out of something, or help somebody get out of something, or help somebody overcome something, if I don't even know how to overcome it myself? And the best way, the only way, God's way is the way that we overcome. All right, let's get into the word. I pulled out 2 scriptures for today. James chapter 1, verse 2. And I'm going to read it from 2 different translations. So the first one is the New Living Translation. Dear brothers and sisters, when trouble of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. Oh my God. He said in his word to consider it. What is the it? Depression. That's the it. Now that you know, y'all stay with me. Consider it an opportunity for joy. James chapter 1, verse number 2, New Living Translations. Dear brothers and sisters, when trouble, what's the trouble that you're facing? Is it depression? Is it your emotions? Is it sadness? What is it? It says when. It didn't say if it came. It said when. That just lets me know that this is a process. This is a journey. That means it is going to happen. But it's how we respond when it happens. That's what makes the difference. That's what brings the joy. Come on, y'all. Stay with me. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. The King James Version says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations. Raise your hands. I can look. Go ahead. Raise your hand. Y'all know depression is a temptation. Let me help somebody. Depression is a sin. I just want to help y'all. Why is it that? Because it's a distraction and it's keeping you from doing all the things that God has placed in your life for you to do. It's a hindrance. It's a hindrance from keeping you from being healed. I'm just trying to help y'all because I overcame depression. I am just trying to help y'all because I done overcame, honey. The next one is John 15. John 15, verse 11. Again, I'm reading the New Living Translation and I'm reading the King James Version. New Living says, I have told you these things so that you will be filled with my joy. Yes, your joy will overflow. King James, these things I have spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be filled. Oh my goodness! If y'all can shout if you want to. I'm just saying. So the question I ask: how does depression and joy work together? It works together because even in depression, you still have a calling. You still have an assignment. You still have something that you need to do. God is waiting on you to do what he has called you to do. I know we all wrote all of these resolutions and all this stuff. We talking about, oh, we leaving this in 2023. Y'all ain't leaving nothing in 2023. Y'all walk right on over to 2024 with the same old stuff that y'all had supposed to have left over there in 2023. But it's all right. I hope January brings you joy. If you don't get nothing else from this live, I pray to God that you have joy. What kind of joy? The one that you can count on. The one that you know you have. The one that remains inside of you. That's the word. He said the joy should remain inside of you. So that means if I'm sad, if I'm crying, in whatever I'm facing from day to day, I should still have joy. I don't care if I have to cry in my room for 3 hours. In them 3 hours, I should be crying, seeking God, and come out of that with joy. Come out of all of that with understanding. Come out of that knowing, y'all, knowing that God is working it all out. And that depression does not determine your destiny. Come on, y'all. Y'all join the group that says from depression to destiny. When are you guys going to get to your destiny? That is what we're striving for. We're striving for destiny. How we got to get to our destiny. And the best way is to recognize what's happening. Deal with it. Like they say, cut it down. Chop it down at the root. Deal with it when it first arises. Don't stay in those emotions and allow it to take over you. I wrote another poem in another book called Monday. I should have read that because that poem was, oh my God. Like, I really wrote a poem where I went through what they call depression episodes. It happened on a Monday and I wasted 24 hours. You get 24 hours in a day, y'all. I wasted an entire day wandering, walking around in the park, crying because I was being led by my emotions. That's another thing. Triggers. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to get into all of it because I've experienced it all. I've experienced, depression has layers and not everybody experiences it the same way. But for me, I had panic attacks. I was diagnosed with a lot of things. They diagnosed me with bipolar disorder, manic depression. I suffered with anxiety. I suffered with panic attacks. And I was an excessive, okay? Listen, look that word up. Excessive. I was a excessive crier. Okay? Don't nobody want to live like that. That's not life. That's not living. That's existing. That's waking up every day to be existing. And you just there. It's like a what do you call it? Like a zombie or something. And some of them pills had me feeling like that. Some of them pills had me feeling like zombie. I'm just feeling like out of space somewhere. I'm telling y'all, I was so tired of dealing with depression. This how tired I was. I was so tired of dealing with depression that I had told God that if he don't heal me, then I'ma die like that. And I was all right with that. I went home after that appointment. I laid in my floor. Literally, I was in the floor and I cried out to God and said, I'ma die. I'm going to die like this. If you don't intervene now, I am going to die like this. And that's when it changed for me. That's when every time I felt some type of emotion come over me, I would put it in check. That's not saying that you ain't gonna cry, because I cry, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I cry. And my biggest fear in these lives is that I get on here and fall apart. Okay? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This ain't easy. And when God told me that at the end of the year that he wanted me to go live, I was like, yo, do what? You want me to do what? Oh, wait a minute. I don't do that. It's taking everything in me with God to stay on this camera. But I understand why. And when you understand your why, then you walk in obedience. And for so many years, I had been on mute. Just in life. In my ministry, in my calling, in my purpose, and what I shared with people and what I told people, I just was on mute. And it's not that I know God's word. I love for somebody to want to have a conversation with me about the Lord. Let's go. It's my life, okay? It is my whole life. But the devil wanted me on mute. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's good. Then I ain't got to say nothing. Okay. Oh, let's stay there. Don't say nothing. And when I understood, it was my mom. My mom gave me a card. I believe she gave it to me 2 years ago, or the beginning of the year or something. Beginning of 23 or 22. I don't remember now. But my mom gave me a greeting card, and it wasn't for anything special. It was just a random greeting card that she saw, and she picked it up and she brought it home. It's like, here. And I'm thinking, like, it ain't my birthday. It ain't no holiday. Like, why you being all weird? And she was like, oh, no, I saw this. I just need you to have this. And I'm sitting there like, all right. And I read the card. Y'all, when I tell you, it couldn't have come at the most perfect time in my life. When I tell you, it came at the most random time, but it came at the most perfect time in my life, because I was so scared to speak. And the card said, you have a powerful voice. And that thing messed me up, because I was sitting here like, wow. And my mother don't say a whole lot. My mother not on social media or anything like that, but my mother watches. And she has been watching me struggle. She has been watching me overcome. She's been watching the whole thing. And she doesn't say a whole lot. All right, y'all, I'm in the car. I'm getting hot. And I'm trying to keep it together. My mother don't say a whole lot. And when she gave me that card, I was just like, okay, now that's confirmation. That's not just the confirmation from God, but it was the confirmation that I needed at the time to be able to shift into this next level of being able to speak about what God has done for me. It was one thing to be able to write it. Like, writing is easy. And that's probably not for a lot of people, but it is for me. Writing is easy. Writing is my escape. I can do that in my sleep. But I couldn't speak. And when my mother gave me that card, I was just like, okay, this is it. Like, this is it. I'm free. Like the line that I put in the poem. Literally, y'all, I am free. I am free from depression. I am free from being controlled by my emotions. I'm free from all the hindrances that is trying to uproot or try to resurface that God has already allowed me to put to sleep. I'm free from all of that. And in order for me to stay in that freedom, I have to stay in God's face, stay in God's word, and just continue to trust him, let him guide me, and just walk in my obedience and walk in my calling. And this may not mean a whole lot to y'all. And I hope something was said that brings you joy, for real, y'all. Because when I woke up this morning, I was not going to do this live. And y'all know I promote stuff and I be excited about stuff. And then when it's time to do it, I be like, yo, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing that. And when this morning I sat there and I was just like, oh, wait, you supposed to be going live at 1 o'clock. And I'm sitting there like, why did I say I was going to do that? The enemy is crafty, y'all. The enemy It's real crafty. And he wants me to be silent. That's what he wants. He wants me to be silent. And for so many years, I gave the devil what he wanted. I was silent. I wrote a poem called Silence. I referenced the word silence in all of my books. And I don't even think people even understand what that really looked like. But I told God, when he dropped this in my spirit, to go live once a month. And I'm telling y'all, I see people go live every day. And I'm like, I be like, God, please don't tell me to do that. Please, I'm praying. Please don't tell me to do that. I promise y'all, I only can handle it. I'm trying to handle it, y'all. When God said, I need you to go live in the 2 groups that you run once a month, and that felt like a death sentence, y'all. I said, wait, you want me to do what? Oh, wait a minute. And I promise you, this morning I got up, I prayed, and I said, ooh, child, I gotta do what? And I'm sitting there, then Facebook sent me the reminder, oh, your live event starts in an hour. And I'm like, not in an hour. Oh, wait. And I'm sitting there like, okay, let me get myself together. My mom got up and she started talking to me and stuff. And I'm like, Mom, I gotta go. So y'all, that's why I'm in the car. Because I just needed to just step out of my house. I'm sitting here, it's snowing, and I'm loving it. And I'm in the car. But I have joy, y'all. I have joy, unspeakable joy. It took a long time. I just want y'all to know. It may not happen for you overnight. It may not happen for you tomorrow. It may not happen for you this year. But if you know that God is still in control, despite your depression, despite your emotions, despite what's happening every day, and despite what's going on around us, he is the joy. He is the joy that comes when you don't even understand what's happening. Because just sitting in this car right now, y'all, and being obedient to do this live has brought me great joy. And I don't even care if I don't do nothing else for the rest of the day. My obedience to do this live has brought me great joy. And whew, and now I could just add this to the list, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the list. We talking about overcoming, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and add this to my list. I have overcome the fear of doing a live. Oh my God. I hope somebody caught that. Woo! Thank y'all so much. Danae, LaQuinta, Miss Reed, my sister Raisa, Stacy, Jessica, thank you so much for being here. Oh, okay. January, y'all, January is about joy, okay? We have, how many days? I think 18. We have 18 days left in the month of January. And I pray that every day you will get up and realize the joy is already on the inside of you. All right. So I'm going to repeat these 2 scriptures and then I'm going to get off here because my nerves and my emotions is trying to creep up, right? So, January. January is for joy. Raptured from my fears. Ain't God good, y'all? Rapture from my fears is the first line in this poem. Yet I fear doing lives and being obedient to what God called me to do. And that's the first line from the poem. Y'all gonna catch this later. Rapture from my fears, an ecstasy of bliss as I resist. Delight in the truth, troubles of my youth no longer misused. Cheer with glee because I'm free. Find contentment in my decision. Great elation, confidence appears. Knowing happiness from joy. Burden lifted. Living life clear. So I asked the question, how does depression and joy work together? I want y'all to go answer that question. Make a post in the group. Answer that question. How does depression and joy work together? The two scriptures are James chapter 1 verse 2. Count it all joy. John 15 and verse 11. That joy might remain inside of you. All right, y'all. That's our time together. See the earrings? Depression before tea. Hey, that's me. Thank you for being here again. I love you all. And it's time for your girl to go play in the snow because I love this. But thank you. If you caught me live, thank you. If you catch me on the replay, thank you so much. Again, this is From Depression to Destiny. And I pray that my life, my testimony, my story, my books, and everything that God has allowed me to do within the last, literally within the last like 4 years is when my life really shifted. And so I just pray that I will continue to be obedient and that I will continue to be a vessel for honor, and that everything that I do and say is a reflection of what God is. It's not what God does, y'all. It's what He is. And I pray that joy, that God is the joy. I pray that you find the joy and that God can be the joy, because God is the joy of my life. And I am just so full of joy right now. All right. Thank you again. And I will see you guys in February, where we will talk about fear. All right. February. Meet me back here in February. Stay engaged in the group. I'll continue to post scriptures, songs, testimony, poems. I'll continue to update the group as God leads me. And I look forward to coming back in this space with you all in February. So again, be thinking about joy for the rest of the month, and bring your questions, whatever you have, drop it in the comment. And I'm going to do my best to answer it, engage with you all, and just continue to be an example of what God can do if we allow Him to do it for us. Okay? So thank y'all. Peace in the Middle East. Who's this? Oh. So if you catch me on the replay, love y'all, and I mean it. Go and be joyful for the rest of the day. Go have joy. Go spread joy. And I will meet you guys back here in this space next month. All right? Thank you. Have a great Monday.